Welcome back. Today we are talking about a pretty bad movie.
Peter Pan!
Never say his name.
So I didn't know that this movie was getting made or even was going to exist until a couple of weeks ago when I just saw the trailer on YouTube and I watched it and I was like, this doesn't look that great. But then I saw a couple of things. I saw Jude Law was Captain Hook and I was like, oh, okay. You know, that's Jude Law, that's someone. But then, more importantly, I saw that this was directed by David Lowery. And if you don't know who David Lowery is, he directed The Green Knight. The Green Knight isn't the best fantasy type of movie, but it's grand and beautiful and creates this really immersive fantasy world that just feels wondrous and full of a lot of creativity and imagination that I thought he could have put into Peter Pan. But this movie lacked really any creativity and imagination. Ironically, the start of this movie was probably the best scene in the whole film. It opens with this long one take of like Wendy going upstairs and, you know, like her house and just everything that's going on just feels sort of imaginative and creative. And I thought if they put that energy into Neverland, Neverland could be really cool. But from the trailers, Neverland really just kind of looked like an island around like Ireland or kind of like Iceland, and didn't really look more like that, so I thought maybe the trailers were just hiding something. But in reality, the opening scene was probably the most imaginative scene of the entire movie. Once we got to Neverland, it was really just kind of bland. You know, Neverland was just like an island, and the whole thing was shot like The Tempest. You know, 2010's The Tempest starring Helen Mirren, which most people watching this have probably not seen, and thank God, because it's horrible. It is absolutely atrocious. On top of all of this, the acting just wasn't really that good in this movie. You know, you had Jude Law, who was passable as Captain Hook. But then you had Alexander Maloney and Ever Anderson playing Peter and Wendy, and Maloney just wasn't that good of a Peter Pan. Really, he just wasn't believable. The acting just was kind of dull, in my opinion. Well, Ever Anderson was just overacting for Wendy in most, if not every single scene she was in. So, yeah, really the acting just wasn't great, and it made Jude Law look a lot better than I think he actually was, just because despite him having an okay performance, it was still miles and miles above every other performance in this movie. So my favorite part of almost all the Peter Pan movies has been the crocodile. So I was at least just excited for those scenes in this movie. The issue was that there was only one scene in the whole movie with the crocodile that they did all this build-up about like no clocks, big fear of crocodiles, yada yada yada, and then you go there and you have this one scene which was probably my second favorite scene in the entire movie. Really, the only two good scenes in the whole movie were the opening and the crocodile scene, and I was really hoping for more crocodile, and we just didn't get it. We got the one scene and that was it. So yeah, just overall, this movie really isn't that good. It's probably the worst remake I think Disney has ever done, maybe aside from Pinocchio, which I heard was really, really terrible. I have not even looked at it or tried to watch it because I heard such terrible things. I was just like, all right, I'm not gonna watch this. But I gave Peter Pan a chance, and I have been completely and utterly let down. This is probably the worst review I will be giving on this channel for a very, very long time, I hope. But yeah, Peter Pan and Wendy gets 1 star. But what about you guys? Do you plan on watching Peter Pan and Wendy? Do you agree with my opinions? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video and you want to see more, feel free to like, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do. Really helps out this channel. And feel free to check out my letterbox as well if you want to keep up with the movies I'm watching. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.